on the Junkyard. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Beyond the Junkyard podcast. I am your host, Junkyard James, and beside me, like always, KDAWG. How has your week been, my friend?
I need more cowbell. That's according to the intro song. Yes. The week is almost finished. I am beyond excited about that. Can't wait for the weekend. But for the time being, it's lovely to be here with you and everybody else on Internet World. Wonderful edition of Beyond the Yard. And yeah, I'm excited, man. How about you? How is your week going?
It is going. Another week almost in the books, and I can't believe it's already Thursday, to be honest with you. The holiday has kind of thrown me for a loop, but we're coming off a pretty exciting week in the world of professional wrestling, coming off of Double or Nothing, which we'll go over here a little bit later, in AEW Dynamite. But even in the WWE world, there's been a couple shockers that have been going on, and NXT. Jordan Grace showed up. Ethan Page showed up. It is, I guess, that time of the year where that forbidden door is open, my friend, and so it's always fun to watch some wrestling drama take place. Social media is just a great place to watch wrestling fans chit-chat and argue and glaze whatever company they like more than the other. But with that being said, we have a new segment that we're going to introduce this week because we've kind of gone away from it here recently. But this podcast, the Beyond the Junkyard podcast, is still a WWE affiliate. So there's a link in the description. Are you a part of the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour? I am. I love Liv Morgan. I think she is a great champion. Or maybe instead of that, you want to represent the WWE by buying one of their championship titles. However you want to represent, use the link below. It helps the podcast. It helps you get your merchandise. I'm working on another creative rendition of something. That way we can play it instead of having me go through the spiel every week. But we are a WWE affiliate, and I thought there's no better way to help promote us being a WWE affiliate than to talk a little bit about the WWE. There's most episodes where we don't even mention them, and so every week now we are going to have what I'm calling the WWE question of the week. Just one topic at the beginning of every show when we promote our affiliate link about the WWE. And this week, it's a pretty big question. It's a pretty difficult question. Becky Lynch, her contract expires Saturday, June the 1st. Or maybe she's a free agent starting June 1st. So the 31st of May is her last day officially as a WWE wrestler, unless an extension has come to pass. I haven't seen anything saying it has been. So the question of the week for WWE: will Becky Lynch re-sign with the WWE? I will let you have the floor and answer it, sir.
I say no. I say no for the fact that, listen, I think that she's done enough. I don't think there's really any other challenges for her that she would think would be exciting to her. She may take some time off and help raise her and Seth's daughter for a little bit. Spend some quality time as the youngins are growing up. I also see, there's plenty of opportunities for her in other promotions, and I think maybe she might entertain those new challenges, whether it's in Stardom or the Raw, TNA, AEW, traveling around Europe, things like that. Maybe wanting to be a little bit closer to her side of the family. I don't know if her family's moved over across the pond. I'm not sure. But I think that she just does the opposite of what Charlotte did. Charlotte resigned. I think that she just wants to, when it comes to Charlotte, I think that she just wanted to cement herself and her legacy as the greatest women's wrestler possibly of all time, but more so in WWE. And I don't think Becky is on the same thought process as Charlotte. I think that she just wants to challenge herself and show that she can do things outside, and she did her time and did great in WWE, and maybe just wants to do something outside and just see what the grass is like on the other side. Maybe greener, may not be greener, who knows? But I don't know. I just got something in my gut that I just feel like she's not resigning there. I just feel like she just wants to challenge herself to do something outside of the Fed.
Yeah, I'm kind of like 50-50 right now. I think the logical explanation would be she's like, my gut feeling is she's going to resign. Just simply because she's one of the biggest stars that WWE has, and they would just be completely idiotic to let her go. But I also kind of feel the same way you do, where what else is there for Becky Lynch to do? She's already been a women's tag team champion, I believe. She's won the SmackDown Women's Championship. She's won this Raw Women's Championship, and just last year she won the NXT Women's Championship. So she's done just about everything there is WWE. And if Tony Khan's willing to give her a pretty decent amount of money, which I think he would be willing to give her a pretty decent amount of money, I think I think it would be in her best interest to at least listen to the offer. I don't think WWE would give her as much money as AEW would. I think Becky
We've already
Lynch
seen before as well that whatever Sasha Banks is, Mercedes Moné, whatever, however you want to refer to her as, whatever number that she may have thought or WWE may have thought, they weren't close, and AEW won the bidding war. And I think that we're at the point now of in time where AEW can compete when it comes to matching offers, exceeding offers. And yeah, sometimes you may need to spend money to make money in a way. But I have a beef with Tony Khan and AEW, but we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that here in just a moment here. So I'm kind of on the fence. I'm willing to see where this plays. WWE, I don't know if it's just a strategy that they're using, that they're just going to let contracts like expire and then let their people test the market or what, but there's a couple big people about to expire. Becky Lynch is just one. Sean Ross Sapp announced today that Chad Gable is about a week away from being a free agent unless they get close to an extension, which is big because Chad Gable's like a pretty big storyline member of the show right now. But also second, another person that's close to being a free agent is Miss Natalya you know what? The Owen Hart tournament is about to start, and it's in Canada. So, do we see Natalya in AEW? Winning.
Stay away.
And so there's some, but there's also AEW wrestlers that their contracts are getting ready to expire. We've seen Ethan Page. He's gone. He showed up in NXT on Tuesday. Arn Anderson's gone. Mark Henry's gone. Thank God. Maybe Ricky Stark soon. Jake Hager, his contract's expiring. And so this is the time of the year where contracts are going to expire and the bidding wars are going to have to persist. I think WWE are going to bring a couple people in. I think AEW will bring a couple people in. That's just the way of the business. Without AEW, though, this wouldn't happen. People wouldn't be getting the money that they maybe deserve. So we got to thank AEW for existing, and that's what we're going to do now. We're going to celebrate 5 years of AEW, talking about the pay-per-view this Sunday, Double or Nothing. Now, we watched it from a small-ass screen with no audio at a Dave & Buster's last week. And then I bought the pay-per-view and let us both watch it with the audio the next day. Initial thoughts before we kind of go break down through some of the bigger matches. Initial reactions to the show.
I'm never going back to Dave & Buster's to watch an event, I'll tell you that much. Wow. That was bad. But once I watched the actual show with audio, I thought the show was very good. You know, pretty much every month now, since we have AEW pay-per-views happening just about every month, we get a lot of people that complain of how long the shows go, especially on Sunday nights, work day, next day, school day, the next day, things like that. And on one hand, yeah, the next day morning is going to be tough if you have to work, not getting very much sleep, all that. But I'll tell you what, AEW every single month just delivers. You get what you paid for. You actually feel like, your money was well spent. They over-deliver. Thought it was a very good show. I don't think it was better than Dynasty. I don't think it was better than Revolution. So I would put it at a 3 of the 3 as far as the 2024 pay-per-views go. But I think it very, very well. I thought it was a really good pay-per-view top to bottom. Pretty much all the matches were pretty good for the most part. Maybe one or two were blunders. But while I say that it was 3 out of 3 on the 2024 pay-per-view scale, comparing any pay-per-view to Dynasty or Revolution is going to be hard to do. I think that even Double or Nothing pretty much did better than any of the 2023 pay-per-views, except for maybe one or two. But yeah, I thought it was a strong show, top to bottom, entertained. I thought the show was really good. We had a lot of surprises or things like that, and that's, to me, totally fine because AEW was known for the product that did that a lot, and it got a little stale. And then there was a lot of pay-per-views here recently where that didn't happen, and it was just more so of let's focus on the pay-per-view, not do any of the surprises, returns, things like that. Let's save those, or let's just focus more so on the wrestling aspect and the storyline aspect. And then this past Sunday, we got a lot of of the return surprises, things like that. So, which is good that they haven't been doing it as much. So Sunday was fine. It was fine. It was totally good. Some things I didn't really care for. We'll get into them. I would say if you're rating on a 1 to 10, that this was a solid 8, pushing 8.5. I thought it was a very good show.
My initial reactions are same thing as you at the beginning. Well, I love the concept, the execution of the concept of having your show at a sports bar-esque a thing like Dave and Buster's, it just doesn't. It just didn't hit the way that I think the intended idea was. And the lady told us that they used to put it in like its own separate space, and everyone would have to pay like a $20 cover to watch the pay-per-view. And then they realized nobody was willing to show up and do that, and so they just put it, as part of its scheduled programming, which is kind of defeats the purpose of watching wrestling. And so the concept is great. If I was AEW, I would just stop showing it at Dave & Buster's because, to be honest, it was an awkward way to watch the pay-per-view. The screen we watched it on was so small that, and with the other noise of all the other sporting events and things, I missed a lot the first time I watched it. And so being able to go through and watch with the audio and everything, hear the commentary, it was good. It was good the second time around. These 3 pay-per-views, I think it might be the 3rd best pay-per-view so far this year, but like all the pay-per-views have been top-notch. And so it's hard to judge when every pay-per-view executes on a really good level. The returns that we got were great. The matches were great, with the exception of Chris Jericho. I was not a big fan of it going 4.5 hours, because, good Lord, thank God I didn't have to work on Monday, because after watching it through the first time, I didn't fall asleep till like 2 a.m, and so wake up, watch it again with the audio, the full thing with the audio. So just 4.5 hours, way too long. I know Forbidden Door is going to be the same way. I get wanting to put as much product as you can on the show, but there were just some matches I would have been completely, totally okay not having on the card. No, Chris Jericho. And so, outside of the length and the Dave & Buster service, because pretty sure if we had argued one more time, they probably were going to kick us out of that building. It was a really good show, just product-wise. And so I guess the next question is, what was your match of the night? And then what was your least favorite part of the show?
Wow, what a good question. I would have to say match of the night had to be, probably Anarchy in the Arena. That was probably match of the night, with just as much stuff as they threw at us. Kept me entertained through the entirety of it. I just thought it was really good. Least favorite moments, I would say probably probably the Jericho match, and it's not just because it's Jericho; it's a Jericho match, nothing like that. I love his gimmick. I think it's fantastic. You can dislike it, and that's okay. But to have a grass-looking rug in the middle of the ring with a preschool-ish looking cardboard tree, I think it's funny, and I think the gimmick is to control, and he's doing a good job of it. If you don't like it, guess what? That's a good thing. Jericho's a heel. You're not supposed to like it. I just think it's funny. Listen, I think having the learning tree is a great thing. I want the learning tree university t-shirt. It's fantastic. Yeah, I just think that, that match did nothing much. There wasn't much to it. Shibata was going to get banned. We all kind of knew that. So I just wasn't much going into that match. But yeah.
Yeah, so my match of the night, and this might be a little bit controversial to some of everybody in this live stream and listening afterwards. My match of the night was Mercedes Moné versus Willow Nightingale. They burnt the house down. And Anarchy in the Arena was great, but I can't judge that as a match because it was just a spot fest. And it was fun. I loved it. The entire thing was great. It was probably my second favorite segment of the show. But Mercedes Moné versus Willow Nightingale hit every expectation that I was hoping for it. Everybody likes to chime in and say Mercedes Moné is not great in the ring, but she looked absolutely fantastic. Both with her in-ring work and just herself in general. But anyways, yeah, my least favorite part of the show, I think you know where this is going. Not just the Chris Jericho segment, not just the match in general, but one particular moment in that match where Brian Keith comes out and joins the learning tree. Why are you ruining this man? He's an outlaw, not a fucking cartoon character. Why is he part of this fucking thing? Brian Keith deserves better than to be sucked in the Jericho tsunami of destruction. And
question.
Yes.
What was he doing beforehand?
He was having great
Losing
matches on ROH.
And not doing anything.
He was having great matches on ROH.
Losing matches and not doing anything. And being on a subscription-based service show.
But he wasn't a joke.
Television.
He was looked at seriously and not part of some
But
comedy.
he wasn't on national television.
But he was getting paid to be.
He's still getting paid.
Yeah, to be part of a joke. It's a joke. I can't stand it, and that's why I'm starting it right now, everybody. Defund Learning Tree University. I hate the fucking shit. Burn it to the ground. Defund it. I hate it. Defund Learning Tree University. And Chris Jericho, for the love of God, get off my TV screen. Anyways.
I need more TV time with Chris Jericho. That's what I want.
No, that was absolutely ridiculous. Alrighty, let's move on. So some highlights of the show. Did you keep track of our predictions?
Why, yes, I did.
All right.
Why, yes, I did.
Can you give us a rundown of how that turned out this Sunday?
Unfortunately, one of our main patrons, who don't mean that literally paying wise, but one of our fellow co-hosts, if you will, there you go. But also a member of the Junkyard Media Group. He didn't join us last week, so I didn't get to write down his predictions. So I apologize for that, there, DJ. We'll have to make sure we pick it back up for Forbidden Door next month. But of the three between us and Jason in the comments, calculated, looked over the predictions for Sunday's show, and then also tallied on to the predictions that we've made so far this year for the 2024 pay-per-views. We didn't predict every single match because, like, we gave a preface for every show. There's going to be a matches announced 6 o'clock that we don't know about, and that's what happens. Is Tony likes to make matches up. We didn't get every single match because that's just what happens. But the ones that we did, you and Jason tied at 8-2. 8-2. That's strong as hell, man. That's pretty good.
Yeah. How did you go undefeated again?
I did not, but 9-1. It is pretty solid. It is pretty good, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Overall, 2024, of the matches we have predicted, because we haven't predicted every single match. So if you go back and say, hey, that's not the same amount of matches on every card, that's because we didn't predict every match, because it doesn't happen like that. Jason is 25-10.
Not bad, Jason.
Not too
Good
shabby.
job, my friend.
JYJ over here, 27-8. That's a pretty doggone good, solid record there, my friend.
Yeah, but you've only missed like one. Stroke that ego there.
Force bust. 33-2.
Nice. Tony Khan, I think you need to hire this guy.
I'm just saying. Got it down. For now. But there is a chance for y'all to catch up.
Yeah, I think we have a greater chance of catching up than the Carolina Panthers have at winning the Super Bowl this year.
Jason, I didn't say it, he did. So get mad at him in the comments.
Anyways, let's move to last night's. Well, let's take a step back. Let's talk about some big. We mentioned big returns. MJF returns Sunday. Juice Robinson returned on Sunday. But the return I was hoping for didn't happen. Britt Baker, I don't know where the hell she's at. MJF had quite an intriguing promo. I kind of agree with Meltzer on it, though. It didn't have to take 20 minutes. I think you could have done that introduction of MJF back to AEW in like 5 minutes, and then you could have removed Chris Jericho off the show and been done at a reasonable time. But anyways, thoughts on MJF's return? He made some pretty big remarks about his return and comparing himself to the Wolf of Wall Street because he ain't fucking leaving.
He got in every cuss word, I'll tell you that much. Good thing it was on pay-per-view.
Yes.
The promo was fine. Promo was good. Promo was strong. The execution of the entire segment was weird. I didn't like it. Why are we going to have the leader of the Undisputed Kingdom come out after the match is over? And I mean like a full segment after the match is over where not even any of his people are in the ring. We don't get a beat down. We just get the Undisputed Kingdom match. Ospreay wins the international title. Everybody leaves. Adam Cole comes out. Why couldn't we have Adam Cole come out? You know, either Ospreay leaves the ring and Cole kind of talks to the Undisputed Kingdom and then does his own promo, or the Undisputed Kingdom beats down Ospreay. I mean, I just don't understand the logic of clearing out the ring and then the leader comes out afterwards. Cole's part just seems very weird and rushed and just odd.
So I think Cole, if I read what Sean Ross Sapp was saying correctly, I think they wanted to bring Cole out there as a way of kind of like putting a bow on the entire thing. Like MJF left because Adam Cole turned on him, and then MJF comes out, throws a devil mask away. I think they're done with the devil character. If you notice, they're having a sale on all of the devil merchandise, and it's like 30% off until it's gone. I think they're done with that character. They realized it didn't really work long term, and so I don't know, like, will Adam Cole even be a part of the Undisputed Kingdom at this point? Also, the fact is, Adam Cole's not ready to return to the ring. He's still
he did look good on Sunday. At least he was able to walk on the foot and do a bump, so that was nice.
Right, and so I think they just wanted to kind of close out the chapter of MJF and Adam Cole, and it was weird. I agree. At least have like Adam Cole come out to like console Roddy because he just lost his belt, and then Roddy can go. I don't know. They could have done it a little bit differently. It was weird. Adam Cole wasn't there, but the rest of the Undisputed Kingdom was. And so I guess we'll have to see where it goes from there. MJF returns next week on Dynamite. Though we'll get to that. Weird person called him out on last night. I was not expecting it at all. With Roosh telling him that if you mess with the bull, you get the horns. And so, yeah, I don't know. That whole segment was kind of weird. But I'm glad to have MJF back. We can finally get all the basement dwellers of WWE to stop saying, "Oh, he's going to show up eventually." No, he's not. He's
tattoo AEW pretty strong.
But at least he put his tattoo in a place where he can conceal it, unlike Cody Rhodes, where it's right there in broad daylight for everybody to see. So at least he has some sort of brains.
Yeah.
And Juice Robinson returns. I called that one on the show last week. I think that was pretty obvious that Juice was returning. They've been kind of throwing in Easter eggs that he was coming back ever since Dynasty, I believe, or even maybe before that. And so he makes his return, helps the Bang Bang Gang retain. It's going to be interesting now, the fact that it's a 4-person team with a trios championship. Will Juice have a singles run? I don't know how that's going to be. I'm excited to see where that leads. And it's Forbidden Door season, so you never know what may happen. A lot of AEW wrestlers have ties to New Japan and CMLL, so there's some storylines that can be drawn there, and that moves us into Dynamite. So Swerve retains, he beats Christian Cage, and the big part of Dynamite was in the main event. We're having a gauntlet match to see who Swerve Strickland will fight at Forbidden Door. But before then, we start AEW with Mercedes Moné talking about winning the TBS Championship. Well, Sky Blue pops up, says, "Hey, I'm the one that attacked you." They showed that footage again where she moans like a freaking porn star. But they announced that Sky Blue is behind the act. She attacks. Tony Khan says, "I have a big announcement regarding this segment later on." It ends up being that they have a match later on in the show. That was really weird to me, especially because there was a match that was scheduled to go, Mariah May versus Saraya, that got pushed to next week. And I think there was a last-minute substitution on that match, and it was weird because I don't think Sky Blue was meant to fight Mercedes Moné that early after winning the belt. I think they maybe wanted to push it out a week or two. But we get the match for the TBS Championship later on in the show. And then, what was the next match? Was it Orange Cassidy? Was that the second segment? Orange Cassidy and Trent? Or did
Dawn comes out to extend it to Orange, and then Trent.
That's right. Don comes out, extends the contract to join the Don Callis family. Orange Cassidy rips it up, declines. Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander come out and say, "My best friend will join the Don Callis family," and Trent Beretta shows up, beats the bloody pulp out of Orange Cassidy, plays a part into the main event. So small storytelling into bigger storytelling. AEW's getting better at it. They fuck up and they wanted to show a promo of Moxley, and then they needed to show a promo of Stephanie Vaquer and all of the issues that went along at that point. Really weird. Commentary was kind of off there. They show the vignette about Stephanie Vaquer, CMLL wrestler, which is also the Stardom World Champion or something like that. And
New Japan Strong
Women's Champion. Moxley has his match against, I'm drawing a blank again. It's been a long day. Rocky Romero. And after that match, we then get the TBS Championship match, Mercedes Moné and Sky Blue. Sky Blue loses. Mercedes wins clean. Again, I think Mercedes looked pretty decent in the match. Really good. And then Stephanie Vaquer shows up, and it's looking like we're having her fight Mercedes Moné, possibly at Forbidden Door. I don't know if it's just going to be one title for grabs or both titles for grabs. The New Japan Strong Women's Champion was the title Mercedes Moné was supposed to win until Willow Nightingale broke her leg. And so I think that's a pretty cool payoff. They have some chemistry. They fought a couple times before when Mercedes was part of Stardom New Japan. But man, I was hoping for Britt Baker to interfere at this section of the show. And again, they let me down. Where the fuck is Britt Baker? I need Britt Baker.
It wouldn't have made sense right there. It wouldn't have made sense.
Why not?
Because it's Forbidden Door. You're going to have two, and I get that we're going to have the same thing happen later in the show. I get it. I do. But Mercedes versus Britt at Forbidden Door doesn't really make much sense based on the pay-per-view theory. I know that we can't, afterwards we have to throw that out of the water now because of the main event. I get it. But the whole point is to have crossover matches at some point in the show. You just showed a vignette for Stephanie Vaquer, so I guess you could do it for the women's world title, but evidently she wants to go after Mercedes, and that's where the storyline's led to. So I don't understand where that would have done anything right then and there, unless you're gonna have a triple threat, and I don't think that would have made any sense.
I guess maybe
wait until All in London for that.
Well, where is Britt? Where is Britt?
Somewhere.
It's been a fucking year, and she's been posting all of these selfies on social media of her in-ring shape. Why is she not on the show? Her Target exclusive action figure sold out in 20 minutes. Why is she not on the show? Tony Khan, Britt Baker needs to be on the show. Anyways, we get through that. I swear there was maybe a couple other segments. Swerve cut a pretty good promo talking about whoever's next is next. And he's basically ready to fight anybody. And we get a promo about Orange Cassidy in the trainer's room. Was it Don Callis that cut that promo on about Trent Beretta joining the group? That's a weird fit to me. I don't understand why Trent Beretta is part of the Don Callis family. I don't understand why the Don Callis family is still a thing, to be honest with you. Because, anyways, I know they need a...
It's simple.
It's not simple. It's not simple.
He's losing his family, so he's trying to gather up troops to keep the family going. When you're part of a mafia and your mafia member leaving you, you want to try to cut their heads off, but you need reinforcements to do so. Will Ospreay has left. Kyle Fletcher is more than likely leaving. So now you got to infiltrate those with new fresh blood.
But they haven't left yet. They're just kind of in the middle. Ospreay has. Don Callis was on commentary for his match.
Yeah, but they're not exactly best friends at the moment.
Yeah. It eventually is going to lead to them leaving. I think, again, they're waiting for an injury to heal with Mark Davis so United Empire can come back. Fletcher, Mark Davis, and Ospreay to leave at the same time. But he's technically still part of the group. It's convoluted. There's too many moving pieces, and I don't know. That's just my opinion. You don't have to make it so convoluted and have four storylines lead through one faction. That's the issue you have when you have too many factions. Is the intricacies that fall apart between all of them. Like if you're going to kick Ospreay out, just kick him out. Ospreay doesn't really want to be used, but Don Callis is always there telling him to do moves that he doesn't want him to do. or that he doesn't want to do himself. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. It's too like, what appeal does Trent Beretta have? What, like, I get it with Ospreay because he helped defeat Omega. Same thing with Fletcher. I get it with Takeshita. There was all storyline behind. What's the story behind Beretta joining? Oh, I can't have Orange Cassidy, so I'm going to take his rival. I don't know. I don't like it. It's too convoluted.
Let it play out, sir. Let it play out. Can't get answers for everything in 1 week. Or even 2 weeks. Just gotta wait.
But if I don't start getting answers soon, these so-called casual fans that they're so concerned about, right? That all these social media people, they're going to lose interest. I'm losing interest in the Don Callis family. And I'm not a casual. I wouldn't consider myself a casual. I'm losing interest in it. What's the point? Give something big. Have something happen. Have Takeshita take out Ospreay or something. There's nothing happening. I need something more. Anyways, we then jump to the main event. The Forbidden Door Gauntlet match. And boy, did it hit again. I love this Gauntlet match. Let me give you your time to talk about it. What were your thoughts on the Gauntlet match?
I think that it's one of the better original ideas that AEW has done. It did a sort of convoluted kind of spot fest type match. Sure, I get it. But it's a different style for a gauntlet match. It's not your traditional battle royal where you just throw somebody over the top rope. You don't even do the whole throw over the top to the last two and you get a pinfall. It's everybody comes in, first pinfall wins. If you don't get, if you get the pinfall before the next person comes in, sorry, the match is over. I think it's a very interesting setup, and especially with the stipulation for it. You got a couple surprises in there, which was really cool to see. I thought it was one of my favorite TV matches of the year so far. I think that showcased a lot of skill and talent and got people's moves in and got some people over. And it surprised me. I was not expecting that at all. And now it's, like I mentioned before, it's supposed to be two different outside promotions facing off against each other, and that kind of went away after Ospreay won. I don't think it'll be title for title, but that's a weird time to do that type of match. Not sure if I agree with it, unless something happens to where Ospreay can't be in the match. I don't know, but it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I loved the Gauntlet match. I think it is a great creation that Tony Khan and QT Marshall, they have, and then a couple of other people kind of helped put it together in its original iteration. If I had to critique one thing, is they promoted it as a 21-man gauntlet and only 9 people showed up, which I guess is part of the point, is finish the match as quickly as possible, and you might not even be a part of the match even if you were scheduled to be a part of the match. But people that were part of the show, Jay White started it off with Pac, still drawing from the prior feud of Double or Nothing. I think eventually at some point we'll get a Pac Jay White or a Pac Juice Robinson or a Death Triangle plus one other person that they want to add fighting the whole Bullet Club Gold, Bang Bang Gang, whatever you want to call them. Maybe that'll be the Blood and Guts match. I don't know. So they start the show. Our third entrant is Mystico from CMLL. Then Will Ospreay comes out. And then Shota Umino of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Claudio Castagnoli. Your favorite wrestler, Lio Rush, showed back up in AEW. Orange Cassidy comes out, even though he probably shouldn't have been cleared to wrestle. And then Hechicero came out again from CMLL. So 2 New Japan wrestlers, 2 CMLL wrestlers, and the rest are AEW guys. ending up in Ospreay winning the match over Orange Cassidy. He hit someone hit their finisher on Cassidy, and then Ospreay kind of like took advantage, won the match. He fights Swerve. I agree. Like, in my original intention was that they should have set it up to be AEW versus New Japan. They did last year. Remember at Forbidden Door last year, the New Japan World title, I think, was on the line between Jack Perry and Tetsuya Naito, I believe. And that was a good match. Now the AEW title's on the line, and it's two AEW wrestlers. And I kind of have the same thought. This should have been an AEW versus a New Japan or CMLL wrestler here. I think at some point in time, this is going to be made to be a triple threat. Ospreay can't lose. Swerve can't lose. So if you add a New Japan guy and have him take the pin, both can still look strong, and Swerve can keep the belt. Or
Fatal 4-Way. CMLL guy,
right.
New Japan guy.
Right. I think it is too early to push Ospreay into this picture. We haven't seen what he's going to do with the international championship.
National.
International, intercontinental. They sound the same. Anyways. And so I'd love to see Ospreay defend that title at Forbidden Door, given the fact that it's the international champion and it's meant to be like this title that should be fought everywhere against anyone. But he fights Swerve, at least right now in a singles match, for the AEW World Champion. And it's interesting. Again, I'm going to let the story play out. I'm interested to see who else comes through the Forbidden Door and to see what the card looks like. Because we only have a month until the show, and with pay-per-views basically every month now, it's more short-term storytelling than long-term storytelling for some of these shows. And then after Forbidden Door, it's the push to Wembley Stadium. Overall, final thoughts on AEW as a whole.
I thought it was a good show. I thought it was a little wonky with how some of the deliveries were done, with either the botch with the promos or the vignettes being shown, things like that. Kind of the last minute scrap of the Mariah May versus Saraya that's apparently happening next week now on Dynamite for the Mercedes and Sky Blue match. But overall, I thought it was a good show. I thought it followed up pretty well after Double or Nothing, and it'll start setting the seeds for what may happen at Forbidden Door. You got a month to build off of that for that show, and then it's another 2 months for Wembley. So I thought it delivered pretty well, and no, it's just a matter of keeping that that kind of strong momentum going towards the next few weeks leading up to Forbidden Door next month. I thought it was a good show.
Well, we got to thank the Boston Celtics for sweeping the Indiana Pacers, because they did that. AEW didn't have any NBA competition, only NHL competition, meaning the show jumped up 10% in views to 787,000 viewers. Still not where I would personally like it to be. Again, I'm not a big numbers guy. I don't think that's a metric that you should typically view as like a standard of success, especially in today's culture, and also considering the fact, for whatever reason, AEW was streaming the show for free on Twitter. And I know when I checked it out, there were like 10,000 people watching it on there. So, I think the viewership going up is good. We move out of the once the NFL, or not NFL, NBA and NHL playoffs end up here in the next month or so. I think we can get viewership back up to consistently close to 800 or over 800,000, especially as we're pushing towards the bigger shows. We need the viewership to go up. Next week we hit Colorado for the first time in live attendance, so it's going to be interesting to see what the attendance looks like in person. But the move to Wembley is starting. It starts with Forbidden Door, or as Jordan Grace likes to call it, the Prohibited Portal. What a great name, by the way.
I've never been a fan of Jordan Grace, so
let me tell you why Jordan Grace, I think, has a beef with AEW and is okay to make fun of them. Is because Tony Khan wouldn't sign her husband to a contract. So, yeah. Anyways, sorry, Jonathan Gresham.
Sorry.
You're doing great, and Impact, I think, is where he's at, or MLW. I can't remember where he signed. But yeah, that's the show. I'm gonna promote it because I hope we can get an episode done soon. Join our Discord because I want somebody to join us for a few minutes and try to beat this guy in trivia.
Who's going to do it? I need a volunteer. You win. So free prize. Something good.
Join our Discord.
You win some.
Yeah. Join the Discord. Link at junkyardmediagroup.com. Buy the merch. Go to the website. Subscribe to all the channels. Use the affiliate link for the WWE shop. Help us. Help yourself. Get you some new merch. Everybody know that it's time for Liv Morgan to run WWE. And it's no more time for Rhea Ripley. Have fun on the couch. It's Liv Morgan's time. And I think we got our first challenger. He said that he would whoop you in some trivia. We're going to have to get him on the show, I guess.
Time and place, my friend. Time and place. Nothing but air and opportunity. Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And until next week, guys, enjoy whatever pro wrestling you love. And we are, if you're into NXT, I'll mention it. A week from Sunday, away from their next NXT pay-per-view, NXT Battleground, live from the Apex Arena, the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada, where Roxanne Perez will put her NXT Women's Championship on the line against Jordan Grace. I don't know if you saw it, but Sexy Red was on NXT on Tuesday and embarrassed herself in front of 2,500 people. Shawn Michaels was on social media and embarrassing himself singing with Sexy Red on social media. Hey, look, let me say one thing. It worked. It got their numbers finally over 700,000 for the week. So good job, NXT. Now follow up on it. I don't know. I don't watch all of NXT. I just saw the snippets on YouTube. Best of luck to Ethan Page. No hard feelings, my friend. You just weren't elite. So have fun in NXT. Though he put a video out on social media saying he didn't sign with NXT, but yet all the dirt sheets are saying that he did sign with NXT. So I don't know. Wavy D had a good point. When is our Forbidden Door draft coming up? Well,
soon. Between now and Forbidden Door of next month, in a month. Yeah. Between now and next month. Yeah,
to be announced. We'll let you know. It's probably going to be in the next couple of weeks.
Give us some time to prepare.
Yeah, because there's 8 million wrestlers that can be part of this. And so with that being said, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next week. Same time, same channel. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your wrestling friends. You never know. Start up a conversation. Maybe they like wrestling and you don't even know. Maybe they want to listen to two people who just like to give their opinions on pro wrestling. And let's grow this together. Join the Discord, junkyardmediagroup.com. We'll see you next week, guys. We're out.